Here we go. Brand new episode of the podcast, 607. Welcome to it. It is April 27th if you're listening on the day it comes out. Every Monday we release a new episode for you. MxPx.com, all the info there. We got shows coming up. Washington, D.C. But before that, I'm actually doing a solo acoustic show. Very random. I don't do a lot of these. I haven't in the last couple of years. So I'm going to be playing acoustic in Bremerton, Washington on Friday, June 12, downtown Bremerton, as part of the World Cup fan zone. So the World Cup is happening all over the U.S. Some games are happening in Seattle. Bremerton is having a fan zone. So come out, hang out. It's a free show as far as I know. You can come out and enjoy. And then right after I'm done playing, I think the game, whatever game is happening, starts then. So come on out. I'm going to play a bunch of songs. I haven't really put a set list together yet, but guaranteed it's going to be a lot of upbeat acoustic numbers. Usually when I'm outside in that kind of setting, I don't try to get too slow, too open an area. I try to just bang it out and just have a good time. So it's going to be a party, you guys. So that's what I got coming up. Goldfinger will be at Slam Dunk Festival in the UK. That's later in May. Next month. It's almost May. By the time you hear this, it might be May. Who knows? So stay tuned for Goldfinger stuff. But MxPx will be in Washington, D.C. at Warped Tour on June 13th and 14th. There's two shows. We're only doing one of those two shows. You can probably guess which one we're doing since I'm doing a Friday show in Bremerton. Probably not going to be doing a Saturday show in Washington, D.C., but I'm not allowed to tell you that yet, so just don't tell anybody where you heard it. Probably going to be, I'm not even going to say it, so they can't say I said anything. All right, so that's Washington, D.C. MxPx will be there June 13th and 14th. That's that weekend. We'll see you there. It's going to be awesome. We were just in Washington, D.C. at 930 Club. Amazing show, amazing crowd. Everybody was singing along so loud. It was awesome. So all the good vibes there. July 25th, 26th, that weekend, we will be in Long Beach, California at Warped Tour. And then August 21st, 22nd weekend, we'll be in Montreal. And Mexico City, we're coming September 12th and 13th. I don't know which day we play there either. Orlando, Florida, November 14th and 15th. I don't know which day we play there either. But those are our Warped Tour dates. It's going to be awesome. And then, of course, don't miss, if you're in Italy or anywhere in Europe, come see us Saturday, September 5th in Milan, Italy at Punkadeka Festival, okay? Going to be awesome. All right. Can't wait for it. That's all we have announced right now. There has been rumor. If you've been following MxPx or myself online, you probably know that we're going to be, and maybe I've already done this, I don't know. We're going to be announcing a Pacific Northwest show, MxPx and Friends. It's going to be big. It's going to be awesome. Hope to see you there. It's going to be kicking off at the end of August. All right. End of summer. Going to be good. All right. That's the news. We have merchandise, we have vinyl, we have t-shirts, skateboards, we have socks. If you don't own a pair of MxPx socks, are you even a fan? Like, can you consider yourself a fan? Because the socks we have are amazing. We put out new socks every year, and so you got to just collect them as they come out. A bunch of stuff there on MxPx.com. Thank you for all your support, all the love. I appreciate you all. All right, Bob McKnight. What are we doing? He just texted me about the stickers and getting your names, and I didn't text him back because I'm doing this podcast, so I will text him back later. But what are we doing about the stickers? What are we doing about t-shirts? People keep calling in and asking about them. We will figure that out, and hopefully by the time you hear this, we will have figured it out. But stay tuned. If you don't already follow Mike Herrera podcast on any of the socials, just pick whatever social you're on most. Follow us there. If you're on Instagram for the most part, follow Mike Herrera podcast on Instagram. If you're on Facebook, go to the Facebook group. It's Mike Herrera podcast Facebook group. Join the group, comment, let us know what's up. Music Monday stacking up. I'll get your submission soon and put one of those episodes together. So a lot of chaos, but we've been doing a ton of shows. MxPx has been out. Goldfinger's been out. Goldfinger just got back from doing the Commodore Ballroom in Vancouver, BC, Canada. Awesome show, thank you. And then we did Showbox in Seattle at the Market. We just basically did exactly what MxPx did at the beginning of the year. Goldfinger just did. Had a blast. Thank you all for the support, the love. I want to mention one thing about that Goldfinger show in Seattle. I don't know if I should even talk about this, but we did not have merch at those shows, and it was not the band's fault. It was the merch company's fault. I'll just say it straight up. It was the merch company's fault. It was the person hired for the merch that just dropped the ball. Therefore, we did not have merch. It was all in Seattle, ready to go. I don't know if I should even tell you the details of what happened. Just insane. But I guess the reason why I mention it is because we didn't have any merch. They just put up some like QR codes so you can get the T-shirt of the show. And I think you could probably still get that T-shirt if you go to the Goldfingermusic.com or wherever the website is. Go to the merch, and there may be something you could get for Seattle. I don't know if it's up there or not, but it's just terrible when you don't have merch. People are so bummed. I was bummed. People they come, they're expecting to get a T-shirt, some momentum of the show, something to remember the show by, and when it's not there, it's just devastating. So I apologize on behalf of the whole band, even though it was not the band's fault. It was not management's fault. Everything was done right. It was all outside of our hands, and it's just a bummer. So, anyway, the reason why I wanted to mention it is this is bugging me. So they sold a bunch of drum heads. So Goldfinger signed a bunch of drum heads, and they were in the dressing room, and he's like, all right, everybody sign these for merch or whatever. And they're sitting there for a minute. I'm like, all right, I'll sign them. You know, when John gets to it, I'll sign it after him, because I wanted John to like have whatever spot he wanted to sign. And I left, went to the bathroom, did something. I don't know what I was doing. I left the room. It was backstage, the dressing room. I left the room 5-10 minutes. I come back. There's nothing there. Drum heads are gone. Everybody signed them except me. And I went in. I was like, where are those drum heads? And our tour manager's like, oh, I thought they're out there being sold. I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't sign them. I was gonna, but he's like, oops. I'm like, well, too late now. Because, I mean, literally those things sold probably just like that, and they were gone. But they did not have my signature on them. And you know what? It probably doesn't even matter. People don't want my signature. They probably wanted John's signature, and that was what mattered. But it still bugged me, because I thought, okay, for sure people are going to think I wouldn't sign those things and I'm being a jerk and some kind of rock star. Like, that's literally what they're going to think. Oh, well, Goldfinger's not my band. I'm not going to sign it. It's not the case, because I was about to sign it and then they were gone. So I just wanted to put that out there in case you bought a drum head from that show because there was no merch, and so that's all you could get. I am sorry I didn't get to sign it. It wasn't my fault. It really wasn't. It was a misunderstanding, I get it. It happens. So I apologize. And if you want that signed, I guess come to the next show with it and I'll sign it. But gosh, it's always something, some snafu happening, right? All right, you guys, I appreciate you. Thank you for your calls. If you want to call into the show, please do. The number is 1-360-830-6660. Leave me a voicemail, kind of have your topic somewhat prepared. Unless you're just going off pure energy, then just go ahead, call in, let it fly. Let's see what you have to say. I appreciate you. Last week I was talking about reality TV shows and Naked and Afraid and a bunch of other ones. But a buddy of mine, his name's John, is actually on Naked and Afraid twice. He just was on a brand new episode this season, and I need to find what what episode it is and where you can watch it, because one, I haven't been able to watch it yet. So I'm gonna text you, John. I'm gonna find out, and then I'll let you guys know eventually where it is. But he was on the podcast a while back because he was on Naked and Afraid, and so friend of the pod, good guy. Shout out to my buddy John. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to your voicemails. Here we go.
Hey, Mike. It's Addison from San Diego. I just have one question. So I know you guys are probably releasing a new album this summer. You said it on your podcast a lot. I'm just wondering if you guys are gonna like add some of those new songs that you guys have written to your Warped Tour set list, because I would love to hear the new songs live, especially after it comes out. I'm going to Long Beach, obviously, because I live in San Diego. It's gonna be great. I can't wait to see you guys there. I hope I get to meet you someday. See you.
Heck yeah. All right. Addison, thanks for calling. Yes, I am so pumped. We're all so pumped to play new stuff. Of course, the new album. We don't have a release date yet because we're still working on it. But we're hoping for the end of summer, beginning of, the fall or whatever it is, But chances are you're going to hear something off it this summer, right? And yeah, if that happens, then we are definitely going to play that song live at Warped. And for those attending Warped and for those that have attended Warped Tour in the past, it was always half-hour sets, 30 minutes. Everybody had a 30-minute set, except maybe Green Day would like go over by 10 minutes and do a 40-minute set now and again. But for the most part, people just stick to that 30 minutes. Nowadays, Warped Tour is 40 minutes for most bands. Most of the headlining bands or the main stage bands will be 40 minutes. And so I think you can count on us doing 40 minutes at Warped, and we'll be in Long Beach, of course. And we are definitely going to do at least one new song. Maybe we'll play like 5 new songs. No, we wouldn't do that to you. We'll do that eventually, but we won't do that on Warped Tour because it's a shorter set. So maybe one song, one new one. We'll see. Can't wait for it. We're so pumped. It's hard to describe because, the new album has some really, really poppy, catchy songs with hooks, but it's also got some really just punk songs that's I guess it's still kind of catchy, but not as catchy and more just aggressive and hard, right? Like I'm not necessarily like fully yelling on a lot of the stuff, like nothing quite like Theme Fiasco, or not Theme Fiasco, Fist versus Tact is what I'm thinking of. But like I said, there's some harder stuff in there. So we mix it up quite a bit. Like boom. I'm excited, you guys. So yeah, I'll see you in Long Beach, Addison. And as far as I know, we will be doing some sort of meet and greet at Warped Tour, probably at our merch booth, probably during the day, maybe before we play. It kind of depends on when we play, because if we play really early, then we'll do it later in the day. If we play later in the day, we'll do it early. That's kind of how I think we're thinking about it. But nothing's set in stone yet. Each Warped Tour date will kind of have its own thing, right? So, all right, appreciate it. What's next?
Hey, Mike, this is Martin. I'm a huge fan, bro. I don't know what's been happening. Been on an MxPx phase for the past year. Anyway, I just want to tell you and your viewers that patience is a virtue. Now, what do I mean by that? So when you came out with your signature bass, the orange one, I had to have it. And I placed my order. I was so excited. And I got laid off my job. So, that $500 can go a long ways when you're trying to stretch a dollar, if you know what I'm saying. So, but I held on to my spot. I was already guaranteed one once the wave came in for the new ones. But, at the very last second, I had to cancel my order. And of course, the representative was super helpful and said, "Hey man, like yours just came in. Like, are you sure you want to?" And I was like, beans and rice and beans, the Dave Ramsey approach, I can probably live off that for a little bit, but I ended up canceling and lo and behold, I went to go order another one and the seller said, "Oh, I'm sorry, but this batch already got sold, so we can put you on a waiting list until May or something." And long story short, I was upset, and I said, "Hey, man, just take me off the list, get my money back." And they said, "Okay, do you want to confirm?" And I said, "You know what? I have a good feeling I'm going to get it sooner." So I ended up not canceling, and next thing you know, mine was actually shipped, and I have the bass, and it's awesome. I love the bass. You should definitely make more signatures and awesome colors. We'll see how the church folks like poking at your punk. But yeah, man, I love the music. Keep going. And if you have a chance, check out the video. It's on my Instagram. I think I tagged you in it. But God bless you, man.
Martin, thank you. Did you tagged me? I'll look for it, man. If anybody has a Sterling by Ernie Ball Music Man Stingray signature series bass, it's a lot to say. It's an orange creamsicle. Please tag me and tag Sterling by Ernie Ball. It means the world to us. But thank you so much for your patience, and thanks for taking a chance on us. Man, I'm never going to get bummed if you have to cancel an order or not buy something because you lost your job, you need to pay bills. Like everybody has to survive. So the fact that you went ahead and reordered it when you had a little bit more cash, it means the world to me. Thank you so much. Truly, this bass is worth every penny. It really is. It's a great bass. It plays great. It sounds great. It looks great. And of course, unless you hate orange, then maybe it doesn't look great. But yeah, I'm just so happy. I don't know exactly. I probably should get a little more into how it's all working, but it seems like they're making small batches of this bass, sending it over the U.S. to the retailers. The retailers distribute to people that order, and then there's a few. Each store kind of just has a few, and then those run out. So they got to get more in. So it's amazing. It means so much to me that people are even buying enough basses to where they're selling out and they're having to make new ones. It's amazing. So thank you. If you want a bass, you can go to Sterling's website, Sterling by Ernie Ball. They're all up there. Of course, you can look on my socials and go back to November or whenever I've released the bass. It'll have some links there. But just Google, you'll find it. Man, I am so pumped. Anytime anybody calls in or just tells me or talks to me about the signature bass and the fact that they got it and they love it and they're playing it, hands down, I am just so pumped. Thank you. Martin, you're the man. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate it. All right, let's get to a couple more.
Hey, Mike, this is Bill from Jacksonville. First-time caller, long-time listener. Saw you guys in Charleston over the weekend. You guys are fantastic, as usual. Hope you all made it back home without any problems. I saw you were posting some videos on Twitter or Facebook about guitars and luggage getting smashed, so hopefully that was none of your stuff. I was just curious how long you guys have been doing the post-show meet and greets, and why are those important to you guys as a band? Definitely don't see that too often with, I would say, like the headliners, the bands in your guys' tier. A lot of them will do like a VIP thing for like $50. You get to see a sound check and you get some stuff signed, which is still cool. But I don't recall really anybody doing what you guys do, and just wondering how long you guys have been doing that and why that's so important to you guys. So can't wait for the new album. Again, it was awesome to see you guys in Charleston. I'm going to keep bugging you about coming to Florida, specifically Jacksonville if possible, but anywhere in the state will do. But again, thanks for coming. Good to see you guys recently, and I'll hang up. Thanks.
Thanks, Bill. Appreciate it. Yeah, you know what? I love your voicemail, and I think one of the reasons why I love doing free meet and greets post show is it blows people's minds, like, because it is not a normal thing, and you just said it yourself. I also like feeling superior to other artists, because like if they're doing things for $50, we're gonna do twice as much for free, so I think a little bit of it is just the drive to be better than everyone. I don't mean it really seriously, but honestly, like I love seeing and meeting people. I love meeting people that love MxPx. I love to make people happy. We all do. And you don't always feel like going out there after a show and saying hi to everybody and doing the whole thing. And you might have like a bunch of your friends and family backstage waiting for you that want to hang out, and you're out doing a meet and greet for an hour plus. So it is a sacrifice. And that's why a lot of artists charge for it, because they want to be paid for their time. I get it. Nothing wrong with that, of course, but why do we do the meet and greet for free? Why? How long have we been doing it? I think we've been doing it. We haven't been doing it like this forever. I mean, we started doing it probably over 10 years ago, about 12 years ago, 13, 14 years ago. But what I mean by that is the way we're doing it now, post-show, we announce it after. We don't announce it before. It's just for first come, first serve. It's for anybody that wants to get a little extra. So we've been doing that probably like I said, like around 12 years or so. Before that, we would do the fan club meet and greet. So we have a fan club. It's called PXPX, and you can go to MxPx.com, sign up. I think it's like $30 or something. You get a t-shirt, which $30 isn't even enough to buy a t-shirt at most concerts, right? So you get a t-shirt, but you get a discount in the store for the year, all year long. You get stickers, you get a picture, an actual picture of the band that comes to you. You get sort of like these little things, you get perks. You get to go on to the Facebook group that's only for the fan club. Now, we used to also include a free meet and greet at any of the show we would go to, any shows we've been at, playing. And so like we had to like organize sometimes 30, 50 people for the meet and greet before the doors open. And that is a lot of work. It's actually more work than doing it after the show, because you already have people there that are working. They can just continue working and do the thing. So it is a little different, but people started taking a lot of advantage of that. At the time, it was like $20 to join the fan club, maybe $15 to join the fan club. So you could imagine people would join the fan club for like $15 or $20, get a free t-shirt, get all the perks, get the discount, get the picture, get the web access, and also get a free meet and greet that's probably $50 to $100. Nowadays would be like $200 probably price-wise. So we did have to make some changes, but instead of just charging a bunch of people money, we just changed it to where people couldn't take advantage of the small fee and just gave it to everybody. Like, instead of trying to make more money, let's just give it away for free and make people happy. Literally, that's all we want to do with MxPx is give people a break from their daily life, from all the stresses, from work, from politics, from economics, from family life. Maybe, not everybody wants to get away from family, but sometimes you do. All of those things, whatever it is, an MxPx show is a way to get away from all that if you want to, and just be in your happy place. And so the meet and greet for us is just another way to make people so incredibly happy. And that makes us happy. When we get done with those meet and greets and people are so appreciative, that makes us so fulfilled. I couldn't even tell you how good it feels to meet so many people that love what you do, that appreciate what you do. It really, I guess that's why we do it. So thanks to the crew. Thanks for our MxPx crew that we put through this every night. They have to wait for us. They have to actually take pictures. Brad's taking pictures, Bert's taking pictures, and getting it going and dealing with staff. So thank you to the local staff that's ever there. So yeah, you know, as long as we can do it, we'll keep doing it. As long as it's safe for everyone, including the band, and we're gonna keep doing it. So thanks, Bill. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming out. I hope to see you at another show. Hopefully Orlando. It's not too far from Jacksonville. All right, let's do one more.
Hey, Mike, this is JT Jarrett from the Facebook group. So I've noticed lately a lot of comedians are like super into MxPx. You guys get shouted out in conversation. See a lot of comedians, especially stand-up comedians, wearing merch. Like famously in the group, Lee Hardin's a fan, Ian Fidance a fan. So like, let's reverse the tables a little bit. What comedians, if any, are you into? Whether it's like stand-up specials or podcasts. Shout out some comedians, since it seems like the stand-up community is really into MxPx. Thanks, Mike.
Hey, great question, and I wish I had my phone on me. But Lee Hardin's awesome. Ian Fidance, awesome. Cool to see those guys doing well. I mean, Ian Fidance he's been on Kill Tony, judging. He was on the Rogan podcast. So he's doing really well, and it's awesome that he's like a fan of punk and hardcore, fan of MxPx, and he's out there doing great things. So shout out to Ian. What's up? Anthony Jeselnik is one of my favorites just because he's so good. He's just he crafts those jokes so well, and it's so dark. It's so dark comedy, I guess you could say. Adam Ray, he's a local Seattle guy, but he lives in LA. He's lived in LA for a long time, so he's not really local anymore, but he's from up here, and he's a huge fan of Seattle Mariners, Seattle Seahawks, Seattle sports. So I follow him. I love what he does. He does the Dr. Phil show. So he dresses up like Dr. Phil for part of his thing, and he'll do like a full Dr. Phil thing, impressions, and he'll do full shows like that, and then he'll do just regular shows, and he'll do other characters. He's really good. So Adam Ray is one of my favorite, I wouldn't say up and coming comedians because he's huge, right? So he's already big, but He's almost he is big. I mean, because I doubt that he would have time to come on this podcast, or I'm doubting he would have time to even come to an MxPx show, because every time we're playing, he's like somewhere probably doing his own show. I get it, but big fan. Another local comedian, I got to shout out Scott Losse. I do not know him. I follow him on Instagram, and I haven't seen his comedy because he's always doing shows. When we're doing shows, we're entertainers. We're doing shows. But I would love to meet Scott. He's a local PNW guy. He loves to snowboard. I don't know if he knows who MxPx is at all. I would assume he's heard of us. Just, I would assume that. But shout out to Scott Losse. I hope I'm saying your name right. I want to see you. There's another guy that's a local, somewhat local guy that Chris Adkins, our guitar player, knows. I'm not going to remember his name, but he's got a mustache. He's a white guy. He's got a mustache, but he's good. All right. There's a few others though that there's this guy that's from Cincinnati that is kind of knows about punk rock, and I follow him on Instagram. I can't remember his name. Sorry, buddy. He's a big Cincinnati Bengals fan, and so I like his commentary, going to see football games and Cincinnati sports, and the sports mixed with the comedy just is really cool. And then if you hit that punk rock in there, boom, 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 love it. So there's another comedian doing, and I don't know his name either, so sorry, but he's doing like emo lyrics. He's like, "Where are you?" He's doing stuff like that, and I've seen some of those clips. I'm like, all right. So punk rock, emo music, alternative music is finally hitting the zeitgeist of comedians, and I back it. This is this is what I was trying to do, a thumbs up, and my brain went like this. Sorry, folks. Thumbs up. And then as far as like traditionally, like traditional comedians that I grew up listening to, I hate to say it, but one of the first comedians I ever had his special, I had it on cassette, was Bill Cosby. You know, we used to watch the Cosby Show back in the day, and then I had his tape. Buck number 1, Buck number 2, Buck. You remember that? He was telling the story about Buck, where you run, and you jump, and a guy lands on a guy's back, the big guy, and then the next guy goes and he lands on the next, you know, and they all stack up, and you stack up as many as you can until they all fall down. That's Buck. I learned that from Bill Cosby. I didn't learn anything else from Bill Cosby, just gonna put that out there. But going a little bit forward from there, Chris Rock, huge fan, listened to his special a lot in the car, in the van, on tour. Dennis Leary back in the day, really liked his special. He had that song called I'm an asshole, you know. So that was always something we would listen to in the car. There's been so many like that though, like other comedians that have put out specials and we'll put it on. But Chris Rock was one of the funniest, just I can't remember the name of this special, but Raw, Eddie Murphy Raw, great comedy special. I could go on and on with all those classics, and I won't. But there's my comedy talk. Sorry, I wasn't really prepared. You know, I don't have anything. I'm not pulling up anything to get my bearings on comedy, but I really do enjoy all those people I mentioned, and there's a bunch more that I can't even think of that are on the tip of my tongue that I can't think of. But Jordan, what is her name? Is it Jordan Love, or is it Ian Fidance has a podcast, and his partner in that, her name is Jordan something, and she is hilarious. Gosh, what is her last name? I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I follow her on Facebook or something like that, and I see her reels come up, and they're just so funny. They're so awkward and so crazy. But she is great. She is great, whatever her name is. And if I had my phone on me, I could look it up in 2 seconds. But I'm not going to try to type in a bunch of things on this thing, but pretty easy to find her. She's blown up, and she's also been on the Joe Rogan podcast I saw. I don't regularly listen to Joe Rogan, but when there's a good comedian on, sometimes I'll turn it on. But yeah. All right, you guys. Hey, what else? There's got to be somebody I'm not thinking of. You know what's funny? Fat Mike told me a couple years ago, we're sitting in a bar after a show, a hotel bar, and we're just talking about it. He's like, you know, I'm working on a stand-up routine, and I think that's what I'm going to do next. You know, after NOFX, I'm going to do stand-up. I'm thinking about doing it, and I'm like, great, tell me a joke. And he did, and it was like, keep practicing, bud. Not that he's not a funny guy, because Fat Mike is a funny guy, but it's just different when you have to like write a joke and write it down, and then it has to be funny. It's like, it's different when you, like, I can be very funny off the cuff in certain moments, spur of the moments, but I can't just be like, be funny, come up with a joke. It's not going to happen. And I feel like that's really what you have to be good at with a comedian, is not only being off the cuff funny, but you have to be able to sit down and just think funny. How do you think funny? I don't know. But we're going to try. All right. Let's think funny together. Next week, I don't know what it's going to be, but I appreciate you. Thanks for listening. Please subscribe to the podcast. If you haven't already done so, subscribe to the Mike Herrera video on YouTube. That's where the podcast is there. That's my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to that. We're trying to grow that page. It seems like YouTube is the only social media that's actually worth having a big audience, because you can actually do things with it. of course, follow me anywhere else. I would love it. That'd be awesome. Appreciate you guys. Until next week, call in. The number is 1360-830-6660. Call in, leave me a voicemail, and I will get you the info on all the stickers and what we're going to do, how we're going to do some free stickers before we actually put stickers to buy and t-shirts to buy in the store. That'll happen eventually, but it's going to be a minute because we got to get things made. But for now, I want to get some of you those free stickers that Bob made on the East Coast. I'm going to let the big producer brains figure that out, what the best way to get your info, where nobody else has it, that kind of thing. Some people said Google Doc or that. I'm like, do you have to do a Google Doc? I mean, because then you have to be signed into Google, and I don't like that. So we're going to try to figure out the very easiest way to do this. If you've got suggestions, please comment on the Facebook comment. That's probably the best, but Instagram also. If you're on Twitter, nobody comments anyway, so if you comment over there, I'll probably see it. Yeah, that's about it. MxPx.com. Thank you all so much. We'll see you out there this summer. Stay tuned for new music. Much love to you, all right? Shout out to Bob McKnight, producing, making things go, giving me good ideas. Also, shout out to Christine Hall for helping me with the YouTube page. Appreciate you. All right, you guys. Peace.